Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of today, January 20th, the day on which at 3:59 a.m. this morning, the sun entered Aquarius. And also this week, tomorrow at 12:16 a.m., the full moon and total lunar eclipse in Leo occurs. Lastly, for this week, this period, on January 24th at 12:49 a.m., Mercury enters Aquarius. And of course, I talk about what all those things mean in the general reading a little bit more at length. Also, on the Christian calendar, there was the feast day on the 24th of Mary, Queen of Peace. And on the 25th, the conversion of St. Paul and the story about his walk on the road to Damascus and changing his ways with the fish scales and all that. I didn't talk about all that. I didn't talk about the fish scales and everything, but you guys can read up on St. Paul if you like to. His feast day is the 25th. And there was nothing on the Muslim calendar or on the Hebrew calendar. So with that, I went on to the reading. Today, usually I use a card or something. If I'm going to do like an opening message, I use a tarot card. But I decided to go over the words of the song, I Hope You Dance by Leanne Womack, because in the hashtag creepy deck, when I do the second spread, that card tends to come up and for me represent free will, a free will choice coming up. And you just having to decide if you're going to get up and dance and like engage with life and be a willing participant, or you're going to let it pass you by. More and more we're being posed with those questions. So I wanted, for all those who've never heard the song or who really paid attention, never really paid attention to the lyrics, to get the full message, what I mean when I say that, when that card arrives. So here it is, Leanne Womack, I Hope You Dance. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. And God forbid that love should ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And if you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to settling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. And if you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Time is a wheel in constant motion, always rolling us along. Tell me who wants to look back on their years and wonder where those years have gone. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, dance. I hope you dance. On that note, here we go. We're starting with the dice with spend money. There was a lot of money or abundance in the general reading. A lot. Stay in bed. And it's 50-50. Spirit says yes. Cocktail. And romantic dinner. For the spread from the masculine perspective, I am using my fortune teller deck. which I do not normally, but I had also announced I would use when I do the 28 days of February for forecast readings. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I've been asked to continue the yearly forecast, or people that are asking me, well, how long are you going to do them? Like, will you still be doing them next week or the week? And I'm like, I really want to stop doing them after January 31st. I don't see the point. And if I'm missing it, somebody wants to point it out to me, put in the comments, the reason why I should continue doing yearly forecasts after January has passed, please do. Because I don't get it. So, not to, with all sincerity and, as nice as I can be, I just don't want to do it anymore. So I came up with what I hope is a fair compromise. And I said I would do the 28 days of February. And I would do a 28-day spread with this deck. Fortune reading cards by Sharina Starr and Richard Crooks. Because they have a lot of, more than one love message, or love-related message. So I thought that would be nice for February. So I'm like, you know what? Let me use them this week. Let people see them. Let people be reminded of them. Because we haven't used them in a long time. And let's see what messages they give us for the love reading. So I'm going to use them for the spread from the masculine perspective, beginning with angel. Your angels are guiding and protecting you on your spiritual journey. And opening to mountain. Know that you are protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. And again, I'm feeling some type of way about mountain, because I was reading something yesterday in the general. I think it was the story of Paul on the road to Damascus, to the extent that I read that story. And there was something about the mountaintops. And I was reminded about Dr. Martin Luther King, who we celebrate here in the United States this week also. On Monday, there's a federal holiday here in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King, the civil rights leader. So now that I'm seeing this mountain again, I'm reminded of him again. I didn't mention that his feast day also falls into this week. Angel. And judgment. Soul searching will bring you inner peace to many areas of your life. This deck is like a combination of oracle cards, tarot cards, and Lenormand cards. Judgment. And lion. Harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. This is pretty awesome too, that lion came out with the Leo full moon being this week too, right? Lion. Celebrations. You're ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. Celebrations. And coffin. So this is a card that's like in the Lenormand, there's a coffin card. Natural endings abound. Take care with your health. So I think on that note, I'll cut after this one, because full moons and lunar eclipses both are indeed about natural endings. Sun. The sun came out in the general reading too. It was crowning the feminine. The moon was at her subconscious, at her root, and she was crowned by the sun. So I thought that was pretty cool too. Messages should be coming through, like we should be seeing some truth. Something should be illuminated this week. And now this is another indication of that. Sun, open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. Overall energy is Chariot. Charge ahead with confidence. Stay strong and focused. Divine Feminine. The masculine as it relates to the feminine, to himself, and the union as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do, surrender, contribute toward the union. What he himself is willing to, what the universe would have the two do, but they would have to affirm to it. They have to choose to dance and really commit to it in order to get this one and the full support that the universe wants to offer. and the outcome. Divine Feminine. Celebrations. You're ready to bring new and exciting things into your life. So we're open. I'm glad to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. That's a message from our higher self. We are open to receiving. Because that's a problem that humans have in general, but particularly women, females, feminine. Or, so potentially the feminine, because women have a big problem with it. We like to give, to nurture, but have trouble receiving and then like to complain that no one gives us, or that we're the ones that are always giving. We don't get anything in return. It's because we're closed. So I'm really excited about this. Celebrations and opening. And it's like a 3 of Cups kind of feeling to it, right? Very celebratory, very social, like we're engaging with the world. We're dancing. The masculine as it relates to the feminine. Owl. There are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this period of transition. So again, something may be illuminated. We may receive a message. This is an owl, not a pigeon, but we may receive a message. And it may be in an unusual way that we come into this wisdom. So pay attention, signs, syncs, songs, like birds sing. So it could come in music and song. And maybe more so at night than in the day. Owls are nocturnal. Maybe in the day we're busy, but like when you're at night, when you're at rest, is when the messages can come in and flow. The masculine as it relates to himself this week, birth. Now look at this. As it relates to the feminine, he's going through a transition. It's like death, right? There are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this period of transition. So it sounds like a death and a consequential birth. And in here from himself, he has chosen, he's indeed chosen birth. Universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility. So he too is ready for new starts. That's what birth is. Feminine, ready to bring new and exciting things into life. And so is the masculine. Or maybe we're ready to bring in things together, because bringing something to life is to give birth to it. So we may be giving birth to a new energy that the masculine wants to engage with. The union as a whole. Fool. Have the courage to embrace change, take risks, and be adventurous. Now, why I'm smiling, you guys cannot see me smiling, but I am, I promise you. The reason why I am is because the Fool in the tarot is Major Arcana card 0. And I talked yesterday in the general about the full moon being 0 degrees Leo and how I was connecting that to the energy of the Fool. Please do listen to what I had to say about the moon on that reading. Overall, beware. Be careful of who you trust at this time. Watch those frenemies and those karmic people in your life, whether they are mates or these fake BFFs that a lot of people seem to have. Masculine's got this female BFF, brunette female. That's not cool. Watch her. Yeah, it's not only going to be female. There's going to be people, and they don't have to be only friends or BFFs. Family members I'm seeing. Just watch those people that you've questioned. You've wondered in your mind, like, were they really for you? Or might they actually be against you? Keep an eye on those. What the masculine have the feminine do toward the... Whoa! Toward the... union this week. Proposal. A romantic or a business opportunity is indicated. Well, this is the love reading, so there's no damn business opportunity. It is romantic, and he wants her to initiate something. You got to make the proposal, feminine. Okay. But he himself is willing to. Patience. Slow down. Change your attitude and clear your mind. this doesn't really feel like a change of an attitude. The masculine has long had this energy of like the Knight of Pentacles, right? This slow and steady wins the race kind of thing. I kind of like to shake up this clock here. But maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. We got to exercise the patience. So maybe he'll teach us that this week. What the universe would have the 2 do, but we'll have to affirm to it, is unity. A time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. And we have these people holding hands here. What a beautiful card for this position. You have to affirm to it. So you have to, both parties have to decide to dance in order for the universe to give you the full support of that. And it's like whatever you feel is standing in your way, when the universe wants to give you its full support, it's saying like, don't worry about that stuff. It's telling you to be the fool and take the risk, and they got you, you know, and miraculous things can happen when you do that. But if we choose to sit it out, then we're going to, you know, reap whatever that yields. And the outcome, flowers. There could be actual proposals, not necessarily coming from the feminine, but there could be actually proposals this week among my viewers. And like, because this is like flowers, like the bouquets, the wedding. Be generous, and success and emotional fulfillment are yours. So it's like give, and then you'll receive also. Give, like, wow. I liked using those. I don't know why I don't. We'll start using them more. From the perspective of the universe, with the hashtag creepy deck, beginning with communication. Opening to long distance. So this could be an actual long distance call, or, you know, other kind of communication, internet or something. Communication. And fair male. So some cases this is from whom we could be hearing. And this is he represents the karmic masculine energy from me, for me in this deck. But we have him here paired with communication. Fair male. And here she goes. This is the karmic feminine energy for me in this deck, the brunette female. I mentioned her a minute ago because she, you know, represents that best friend and the ex-wife and all of those things. The, you know, baby mama and what all that. Fair male. And freedom. So maybe this week we'll get to break away from some of these things, from him and from her. Fair male. I'll do one more. It is past life. So the lunar eclipse and the full moon could be bringing an end to things of the past, finally closing some chapters for us. And that may be why we're seeing the 2 of them, and then landing right on that full moon, and a very 2 of cups, a fiery 2 of cups. The wine is red, so it's like the Leo full moon, love energy and dating. And the overall energy is blonde female, who is the representation of the divine feminine for me in this deck. So divine being or couple, recent past, masculine's higher self, near future, blocks to progress or union, what the feminine can do, like to help herself, what the masculine can, the universe would recommend to the 2, but again, they would have to affirm it, commit to it themselves for full support from the universe, and the outcome. divine being or couple, fun times. So another one of those very Three of Cups kind of cards, being social, engaging in life, deciding to dance, not sitting it out. Recent past, freedom, beginning to pull away from things that were restricting us and keeping us from doing that. I like it so far. Near future, courting man, proposals, invites out, romantic dinner, dating. Masculine's higher self, Ice King, in control of his own life, very emperor. This is Mars, representation of Mars here. A few things. We have Ice King, so that's all the winter signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have this very Martian-like figure here, very emperor-like figure. It looks like somebody's father or husband or ex-husband, divorcee or widower, something. He's very authoritative. So he represents Mars, and Mars is the ruler of both Aries and Scorpio. So we have that energy coming in. But then we have this big white lion here, Leo the lion. Of course, we're also recognizing this week the Leo full moon. So we have that here. And then he also does a little bit of Mercury for me. You know, I feel Mercury with him too. Mercury this week entering Aquarius, winter or ice sign Aquarius. And more importantly, this card is about taking on that emperor energy and being in control of your own life, having taken back your freedom and control of your own life. Maybe somebody else was manipulating you before, and you were over that. And this is like being the master of your own destiny. You are fully in charge. I love it sitting here atop freedom where it belongs. And this is very much like Mercury in Aquarius. Blocks to progress or union. It is travel. Some of this is going to be very literal. There's physical distance. For others, it's been lack of movement. It's been stagnation, but that's changing. We just had an overall energy of Chariot with the first spread. Let me get that card. Charge ahead with confidence. Stay strong and focused. So where we may have been afraid to move forward and we were standing in our own way and blocking ourselves, that changing this week also. And when I picked up that Chariot card from atop the deck, the card that was underneath it was luck. You are right to be strong and optimistic about the opportunities ahead. So it's like, just go, there's nothing to be afraid of. It's all good on the other side. What the feminine can do, like to help herself, she's going to have to move some of these obstacles out of her own way. Maybe that's why proposals showed up for us before. Like the masculine is saying, you initiate, you move out the block that's in front of you, our communication block. You close the gap. You reach out to me instead of me to you, or something like that. And you might say, well, it's always me, her. That may be true, but she's meant to do it again. She's meant to move whatever obstacles in front of her out of her own way, for whatever that means for her. And the masculine, what he can do to help himself, past love. This can go either way. I mean, it can have more than one meaning. It could be the need to deal with situations from the past outside of the feminine, or recognition of her as a past love, and there's something that we need to address there, It kind of goes with what I said in the general reading about Let It Burn. I had been feeling different things about that song by Usher, Let It Burn. That this week and the time that we're feeling the Leo full moon, the whole period, was going to be about, that was going to be the theme, let it burn, but in two different ways. Like one, exactly how he meant it. Something just has to go, let it burn. Like, fuck it, I'm done with this. But the other, like in a more positive sense, where your passions are burning, like to stop trying to extinguish them and to let them burn and to actually pursue them. So that's what I mean about this. Like it can go either way. It could be something that you need to let go of from the past and be done with, or something that you need to finally admit to yourself that is a passion of yours and you pursue it. What the universe would have the two do, but they'll have to affirm to it, is cutting these strings and cords, freeing themselves. It's here sitting next to the Emperor. You want to be in control. Universe wants you to be in control of your own life, wants you to stop being manipulated. It will help you, but you have to really commit to that. And it's crossing the freedom cards here. So not only for you to like be in control, for some of us that did pull away, but it wants us to remain in control, to not like slip back into the old patterns and repeat the cycles again. Like be like, close these chapters, move the obstacle once and for all, close the chapter once and for all. And the outcome, boom. More full moon and dating and Two of Cups, right? Very Leo full moon is the outcome. For this next spread, I'm gonna use the Universal Love Oracle and begin with blessings and opening to divine guidance. So this more moon and the need to surrender and actually follow through with the guidance, remembering all the time that it is infinite, it doesn't go away. And when we do follow it, instead it's a number 8, and number 8s represent being rewarded because you did follow the guidance and you did do what the universe asked of you. Right? That brings about miracles and blessings. Miracles. Transience, a card of full surrender that allows for healing from head to toe. Transit and sorrow. So this is some of the past hurt, some of the cords of attachment perhaps, some of the negative emotions that we need to release to allow for new and fresh blessings. Miracles. Also to, like, she wants us to restore peace, you know, in our relationships where we maybe had a falling out with somebody that we do care about and cares about us. This week, again, we do celebrate the feast day of Mary, Our Lady Queen of Peace. That is in the 24th. And that's what she wants for all of us. Opening to reflection, which calls upon us to like look around at our lives, look back at the past, look forward toward our future and our goals and what do we want. And, you know, we got to lighten our load before we can move forward through the gateway. So that's what the point of the reflection, to figuring out what are we taking with us forward. Corinthians 6:14 talks about being equally yoked. And I think a lot of people misunderstand what it means, misinterpret it. But what it means to me in relation to this journey is the importance with surrounding ourselves with people with whom we align and resonate and, you know, can learn from. It should always be of a vibration, you know, akin to our own or better. And I think that's what being equally yoked is about too. Overall energy is guardian. Reminder that, again, we're not alone. The support and guidance is infinite. We just have to seek it and then actually follow through. Kind of the masculine, it is Moon Tree. Can this reading get any cuter? Moon Tree is a card all about sacred marriage. So this is where his mind is at. Again, we're being shown this. He already showed us this in the first spread that was from his higher self perspective. Yeah, Moon Tree. So I'm sure it's here in part in recognition of the Leo full moon, but also because it is a card of sacred marriage. Masculine is surrounded by enchantment. And this is probably one of my most touching to me cards about healing, because this woman is all scarred. So she's really been through it, and you can tell. but she doesn't feel the way she looks. You know, like people say, I'm glad I don't look like how my life has gone. I don't look like my experiences, you know, because you're no worse for the wear, as they say. She has just learned from these things, and she's taking those positive lessons, and she has clearly left the baggage of what, you know, doesn't serve her behind, and is still open to receiving, and not only open to it, but seeking the support of the universe. Venus, Mars. You see the red and blue rays traveling through her, head to toe. She's in full surrender. She's nude, right? You can see her breasts here. Her eyes are closed. Her head is tilted. She's not worried about being scarred again. She's still, you know, brave as if she'd never been through anything at all. So this is the masculine's energy this week. I'm glad to see it, or the energy surrounding him, so he can take advantage of that. Happy to see that. In masculine subconscious this week, it is abundance. So needing to work on flow, continuous flow of all things, you know, so that all abundance in all forms can come to him. Love, money, the material, and again requires surrender. We have another nude female here with her eyes closed, completely vulnerable. That's what the masculine needs to do as well. Crowning the feminine, it is answered prayer, and we've got a lot of air and water energy mirroring the masculines. He's got this water energy here too with the moon, right? In the tarot, moon represents the sign of Pisces. The actual moon, or at least Earth's actual moon, rules the sign of Cancer. So we have Scorpio showing up here for the feminine with this butterfly. And she's got maybe butterflies in her stomach. Yeah, more importantly, this card is about answer prayer. So our dreams coming true, our wishes being granted. We are surrounded by the universal heart, which is the illustrator in this deck's depiction of Jesus, the Christ. But more importantly, is about oneness. Each and every one of us being very, very necessary to the universe. Each of us might be like a little speck, but together, you know, we form this really great source. And that's what this is representative of. It's a reminder of like who you are in relation to the rest of the world. At the feminine subconscious, we're afraid, fear. So this is going to be fear in all forms too. It's ego, you know, it's pride, the negative emotions onto which we're holding. Oh, they hurt me before. He hurt me. She hurt me. You know, like, and I understand. I've had my days too, moments, my experiences in life too, but it's going to be important this week for the feminine, maybe to call on this guardian to work on releasing these things that we're holding on to. Because this is what's weighing your bag down. This is what's making you heavy. And when I picked it up, immediately behind it was blessings, but in reverse. But I picked up two cards. So I went to pick it up to show you guys this one. I picked up the blessings card too by accident. And up right behind it was love. And then tantric union, also upright. Oh, and then soulmate. See, now they got me started. Message from afar, oh goodness. I'll show you all the upright ones. So it was love. And then tantric union. And then soulmate. And then message from afar, which again could be very literal, because I did feel distance, and you know, so like that long distance card possibly being literal, that we're separated by space and time. But this will also be messages from the universe. I told you to pay attention to signs and syncs and songs and just any kind of messages that maybe the universe may be trying to speak to us. And embrace was the last one behind it, which represents the sign of Sagittarius for me in this deck, because it feels very temperance-like, and temperance in the traditional tarot represents the sign of Sagittarius. This card is about one person's inner masculine and feminine coming together in a very harmonious and loving way. So it's self-love first and foremost, but definitely can extend to our relationships with other people. crowning. Listening. Some more of this Aquarius. Again, Mercury enters Aquarius this week. So the communication planet entering an air sign. There should be a lot of communication that we can expect. And I explained in greater detail what specifically Mercury and Aquarius was about in the general. But this is going to be more surrender. We have more nude body, more eyes closed, so the more vulnerability. So not just like hearing the messages, but listening and really receiving them and then putting action to it. At the root, fire. Here's those bags I was talking about. It's like hot shit. Like your hand is going to burn if you don't let it go. That's what it is. The golden memory. So we're only meant to take the positive lessons and memories that, you know, we can carry. Because those are light. So we can carry those with us forward. And anything that would hold us back or that would cause us to stay behind and end up getting burned up, we need to drop it. But there's the fire energy coming through, like the Leo and stuff. And at the heart of the matter, birth. So we're having this. This is at the foundation. And this ending here, this Leo full moon, giving way to this new beginning and birth. Maybe I should at least give each of these a little shuffle before we do the advice. So you guys can see that it's fresh energy. So I just open to family. There's those obstacles again. Money, so abundance, like an Ace of Pentacles kind of energy, and that freedom, very important, very significant this week. Okay. This one we were starting with unity, union. Is that mountain card again. Know that you're protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. And the unity one said, a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. Unity. Moon. How awesome. Pay attention to your intuition at this time, and move ahead confidently. So this is kind of like that Chariot card that showed up too. The moon never fails me. I tell you, anytime there's a full moon or a new moon and I'm doing a reading, the moon in one way or another shows up in every reading that I do. Opening to key. This is another card that's like from the Lenormand. New beginnings, directions, and adventures await for those ready to let go of the past. So not all of us. Only those who let it burn are going to move forward through the gateway. See? And one more. I was doing 3 for each, right? It's sun again. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. So birth, we were starting out with this one. Opening to celebration. 2 very Pentecostal doves. So this is like a mark of our ascension, continued growth, spirituality, right? The sanctity and sacredness of each being and each union, and transmutation. That when we let go of that negative stuff, we let go of those negative emotions and the cords of attachment, we rise. So here's another indication of the ascension that was clear to me with the 2 doves. Of course, also representative of fire energy, as is appropriate this week, and divine guidance. So another reminder of the need to actually follow through, surrender to the information, the signs, the guidance, the wisdom that we receive from the universe. All right, one more for this one, and it is miracles. Lastly, I wanted us to get some advice from my, I wanted to show you, I had them like separated because I wanted to show you that twice I shuffled these, and 8 manifestation was opposite 88 abundance, which is the same thing that happened in the general reading like more than once yesterday too. But I'm opening to spiritual partnership, which I also did in the general reading yesterday. Manifestation and 16 rebirth. So you see that energy, very significant. Definitely a theme this week, death and rebirth. And opening to spiritual career. Manifestation and teaching and learning, a very hermit kind of energy. Introspection, you could be learning about yourself, learning about your partner, and individuality. On this note, I guess I'll cut because this one came up in the general also more than once. I talked about what individuality meant for us and the strength that we have, each separately as a one, and what it becomes when we come together as an 11. And 44 came up in the general reading and environment, specifically for the masculine. And this is about like being equally yoked. This is about with whom and what and where we surround ourselves, and the need for it to align, with our vibration, or to be higher than ours so that we can learn something from it. Overall energy is spiritual career. Some couples could be coming together to work on something, or some friends or people who believe themselves only friends and maybe possibly now business partners could begin to feel the strengthening of their relationship and maybe realizing that they're more than just friends this week. Or you can meet somebody at work, like in your capacity at work, whatever it is you do. Maybe you sell stones and somebody comes into the store to buy some and you click, something like that. Well, okay. Further advice to the masculine is union. So all this reading, his mind has been here, between moon tree, proposal, I forgot what the other card was, but now union. So I like it. I'm not complaining. I definitely think that there could be some actual proposals this week, and maybe even marriages. Last night with the general, for those who've seen it, and okay, so spoiler alert, I talked at one point about lesbian couples I was feeling. It was the star and the empress. The star, I had clarified the empress with the star, and I felt like saw two beautiful women, and I said, this is about lesbian. As soon as I finished that reading and turned on my laptop and went to Facebook, because I have no self-control, I went straight to Facebook as soon as I was done. A client of mine, who is indeed a young lesbian, beautiful, I said I saw 2 beautiful women, had gotten married, like secretly gotten married in Hawaii, and posted pictures. And I was like, I should have went to Facebook first and then did the reading. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so it's happening already. Children. So this is like new beginnings also. More Empress. I was just mentioning the Empress. That sort of energy surrounding us. Abundance, creativity, coming up with creative ways to help ourselves to become more abundant. That may be connected to spiritual career. It may involve healing, and maybe it's a rebirth because we need to reinvent ourselves. Maybe we're out of work. We've been out of work. We lost our job for whatever reason, and we got to do something else in order to bring about abundance. Or we're not happy with the job that we have. We don't feel that that's where our purpose really is, and so we need to be reborn in that area. Music could be involved. Maybe you're working with music. You are a musician. You're an artist or something. Or maybe you got the idea through a message that you received in music. Some sort of synchronicity that it was like, aha, that's what I got to do. From the fortune reading card to the masculine. I love this. Let it burn. I told you. See the phoenix? Be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. This is total rebirth energy for you. Rising from the ashes. I'm very happy to see that. For the feminine, for us, from the same card, cracker. Positive energy surrounds you. Love, joy, and good fortune awaits. And from the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine, moon tree. Can you guys believe it? So again, this is a card of sacred marriage. That's what this card is about. The marriage between heaven and earth, and the marriage between two divine beings. So it doesn't have to be, legal marriage, where you went to, your state recognizes it. It's about, union of souls. To the feminine, universal heart is back for us. So just to again remind us of our divine oneness and what we make up when we all come together too. It's still oneness. That's the really amazing thing. All of us come together and it's still just oneness. From the numerology deck to the masculine, patience. Interesting. Didn't patience come up in one of the other spreads for him? I think. Oh yeah. What he said he was willing to do, the perspective from the masculine, the card was about patience too. So I guess he's on par with what the universe wants from him this week. Okay, so I can't argue. The 2 is button 11 though, so it's still about, each one having their own importance and then coming together to form another unit of one. So we can wait patiently for that. And for feminine, for us, karmic completion. Well, I like that. And speaking of 1, it's a 10 equals a 1, which means new beginning. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the love reading. I'll be back with the moon. Like, share, subscribe, support. I appreciate it. I thank you very much. Namaste.